Guess I better start recording because I just got this advancement, which means that we're in a Cataclysm area. This should prove interesting at least. I was only looking for obsidian to repair another massive portal. Let's see how this goes. No, I have not finished the library yet. I'm actually getting blackstone for it. Running around the nether and doing stuff, and this is where we are. But apparently this nether fortress spawned with something in it. And yes, my inventory is very full. Oh. What are you? You spawned quite precariously. Okay. Neato. Stamina really coming in clutch. This is sick. This is awesome. I love this. I should put on my armor though. There we go. I don't like how these mods put in their own music. Because I would love to just play the binding from Artbound, but no, instead I have this. And it's cool for me. Alright. Missed. That's fine. Why can't I lock onto this fellow? Should be getting Heart Shield back in a second. Here it comes. A touch anticlimactic, but that was still very fun. Alright, I thought I was going to have to go through like a big old dungeon or something, but nope, just out in the open. I wonder what this could be. I don't need the deep slate bricks. Infernal Forge. Alright, so I might need to stack another mod on then, because I saw a thing that makes it so that these act like their own custom weapons, because this is from Cataclysm. Okay, I get it. Doesn't happen when in fight mode. But this is fun. I make big thump. Alright. Yep. 24 armor negation. That is a hilarious number. Anyways. Thank God I was recording. Might as well start this episode here. You guys have already probably seen a couple of the clips, but welcome back to Obliteration Redux. We are building a mountain. And I'm going to note that I was using the stone generator to do this, and this backpack used to be filled to here with stacks of 64. Yeah. I had to install a data pack to get it that high, actually. So this thing is going above normal build height, but that's because I want there to be snow on the top. And to tell you the truth, this arrangement here is to give me the X and... it's XYZ, so X and Z axes for where Stony Shore is down here. And then I'm building... and then I'm building a pillar up to where it starts to snow so that I can have this mountain that is consistently covered in snowfall. at least during the winter, and the top of it is covered all year round. So that's the plan. That's the reason I'm doing it this way, even though it's kind of stupid, if I'm going to be honest. Let's see if I can I land this? Hey, there we go. It's kind of a dumb idea, but it's also given me a lot of room and a lot of ideas that I didn't have before. Based upon this being the way that it is, here, let's free cam really quick. Based upon this being the way that it is, and the orientation being kind of whack, I initially thought like, oh, well, I'll just have everything be a bit smaller then. And I won't have these big grand plans. One, this terraced area is probably going to be huge, because perspective and such makes things that are farther away appear smaller. And this is probably bigger than I give it credit for. My game's chunking up a bit. It's rendering too hard. But this area here is going to be primarily the library, then a couple of residential things, and we're going to come up to a huge residential area. And then on top of another terrace is going to be the church. And then we're going to go behind it to a more like working area, that kind of thing, which is going to be underneath of the bridge that we made episode before last, I think it would be now. I don't know. I record these things in a really weird way that I need to get a better grip on. But that thing, the gash, the opening. But I'm now going to also be incorporating some other things, such as floating islands, because I have a lot of vertical space now, as you can see. And this is only going to get taller and taller and taller. But I'm only going to build the floors of islands at that location, because that's where it starts to be plains. And for those of you who don't know, because I just learned this, Minecraft snowing at that height is because it changes the biome type to a plains type biome. So when we have a plains type biome, then it snows in winter, and it also snows whenever it rains at that altitude for some reason. But yeah, it's how we're working. It's how we're having to get it done. And hopefully it functions. Hopefully it does exactly what I want for it to do. If it doesn't, I'll be moderately mad, but not too terribly mad. And the reason that we're only building up on that level with grass is because that grass will have the same green as this grass if we're building a sparse jungle biome, which all of this is. So with that, I'm going to get back to work, and I'm trying to build the entire mountain walls from here to the other end of the terrace. That is, what, a full backpack almost of stone going into the sky? And we've only covered... Oh, my frame rate is dropping like crazy. And we've only covered... Well, we gotta get to there, so... like a sixth of what we have to do. Yeah, these videos are starting to actually take the full week. Another giant bag of rocks means that we are back to work. I'm not even kidding. Another giant bag of stone. I can't use shaders because for some reason when I'm building towers this high, the shaders kind of break, so... we're only going to get that back once we get back downstairs, and I figure out how to make my shaders stop breaking, which unfortunately might be uninstalling Optifine again. Please God, say that I'm recording this in the right aspect ratio. Thank the Lord. But yeah, I'm going to be building a wall. So, apparently this is where actual snow generation happens. It's at 524. Why? And I've been building up to like 320 something to get to plains. But this is where when it rains it snows, so I have to build up this high, which for reference, I'm going to teleport down. There we go. This is how I've been building. That's how high it has to be. This will take forever for literally all of this. But that's why it's called Rip Sky Mountain, so we continue onward. The backpack is once again empty. Two full backpacks. Oh, missed. Yep. And that's how tall all of them actually have to be. This is how tall all of them are. And this is the one that's half finished. And this is the out frame for the library. Speaking of the library, let's do what I said I was going to. Took a break from the stoneworking to go back and do this. I think I might have already said this, but this is taking... Like, it's just getting the wood for this is taking forever. I understand tree farms now, no matter how complex and huge they are. Alright, so I finished a lot of the interior. I gotta cut into this wall. A lot, actually. And I have an idea for this wall here. I think I'm gonna use these. Like, these here are gonna be potentially windows and stuff like that. These over here are gonna have bookshelves on them that go like here, then maybe bump up in the middle and keep going. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna try to make like a study looking area. This is gonna be a hall of bookshelves, just like bookshelves, 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 that kind of stuff. This, I think I'm gonna try to make into like segmented study cubicles, that kind of idea. And the floor is of course going to be all dark oak, which so far has taken so many trees. I would have deforested an entire forest, but I've been building them on my own because I have a bunch of bone meal. And yeah, the second story is going to be more the same, but a lot more in like balconies rather than in like a full flat floor like this. And this area is going to look different too, so the separation is going to be with these like little gates going across. And like how there's a tower here, there's going to be a tower here, only that it's going to be entirely encased in stone. But I want it to look like they hewn it into the mountain in the same way that this one has been stood up, essentially. I think that's the interior. Well, okay, the bare bones the interior. Excuse me. Gonna do some bricks over here, gotta do some bricks over here, and then I'm gonna do the alcoves. I think I'm gonna do alcove, alcove, alcove. Wait. There's an even number. Alcove, alcove. No. Alcove, skip, skip, alcove. There we go, that'll work. So this one over here. This one will be an alcove. And this one over here will be an alcove. And don't worry, this isn't going to get covered by the mountain. We're fine. And these will be like little study rooms, essentially. And then this will enter into the greater library, or perhaps the lesser library, actually. I'm not sure. I think that I'm going to have this be the towering bit. Onward, though. A few hours of brain rot later, and I think I've gotten most of the interior bones done. This doesn't look half bad. I'm going to texture these walls later, and I'm going to fill in these walls and texture them later. These are the nooks that I was talking about. I think I'm going to turn that into a living quarters type thing. And then this is a staircase. That doesn't look terrible, and it's very easy to make staircases look very bad, but I think I did alright with this one. Yeah, we're going to have some study areas back here, and then just shelves and shelves and shelves. And then up here, going to have... I don't know what I'm going to have. I think that these balconies are going to come in a bit on both sides. And then this here is going to go out that way and be the bit that's over this section of the library. Yeah. Alright, we've gotten to this point. So this has been done for a while. But we've gotten to this point, and I once again need to be going back to the nether, because I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the nether just to get this warped wood. This stuff, I'm clearing out a forest. Deforestation, bog, but yeah. Gonna clear out a forest. Gonna line this with probably bought bookshelves, because that's difficult. And then this is gonna be like a lower archive room. So this is gonna be the big one with a bunch of really high shelves. And I think I'm going to add in, like, scaffolding to get to the higher shelves is the idea. You know, like how... You've seen a library. You've been to a library, I presume. They've got those tall ladders at the really big ones. And the tall ladders go up to the super high bookshelves. And only a librarian goes up them, because if a librarian isn't the one on them, then they're liable for if you fall off. That's the reason, by the way. Anyways. back to the nether I have to go, but just a little progress report. This is where we are. I'm thinking of a curved roof. I might build that out of scaffold just to show it off. But a curved roof, and then domes on these, to the best I can make a dome. It's going to go up, I think, 1 story above the rest of the building, and I think this is as tall as the building's going to be, is this, what I'm standing on here. And so this is going to get its own little staircase, and then it's going to go up to another room, and the room's going to be like a super private study. Might have some wizard stuff in it, actually, too. That would be fun. But yeah, off to the nether I go. I find it funny when things try to hurt me because I wind up just killing themselves. Yep. You having fun too? Yep. There we go. I gotta get thorns on my pants, and then I think I need... Yeah, I need thorns on my boots. I need thorns on my helmet. No, I just need thorns on my boots. And then it'll activate literally every hit. Thorns is just hilarious. Something I just thought about that I should mention here. If anyone tells you that, like, literature is unnecessary, because I was thinking about this because, you know, going to college, I think I've made that abundantly clear. And I have a couple of friends that are like, oh, I only read this kind of book, or, oh, this... It doesn't intrigue me enough. I can't read stuff like, I don't know, stuff like, say, Poe or Shelley or Byron. And I'm not going to school to be a writer, but as a writer myself, I'm like, how can you not read these guys? These guys are the greats. Like, you have to understand literature. So my point being, in this small clip, is that you can't let anyone tell you that literature is unnecessary, because literature is the way that we understand the past. It's, like, realistically, people are like, oh, well, isn't that what historians are for? Not... Yes, in the most literal of senses, but every time that I've wanted to culturally understand the past, the historians have come up short. You know what I mean? Realistically, what you want to do, if you truly want to understand it and understand culture at the time, is read people who are writing about the time. This is why Dickens is good. This is why Byron is good, stuff like that. Because you can understand what the... I hate this. Me doing chill talks while getting absolutely slammed by a bunch of piglins. What was I saying? Oh, yes. The thing is that you have to understand that the writers that write stuff like fiction, or the writers that write stuff like poetry, they're writing of... think they are or not, they're writing of the current culture. At least old ones were. There's a lot of modern writing that's not writing of current culture, and it's just kind of bad. But when it comes to people like Byron, or like Shelley, or like Poe, even if they're writing about their own psyche, it's induced by the current culture. It's a cultural thing. So if you want to understand history of people, you read fiction, because fiction will always be inferred by people, where history is just... it's just people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a completely external view without any kind of... without a lot of thought towards culture. This is why stuff like verbal stories of headhunters and stuff like that, you'll wind up with stories being embellished. It's why humans embellish stories, is because it shows what is favorable in the culture. That's the reason that you hear Viking stories about a guy who slew like 30 men. It's because in that culture, that's what they thought was cool, was, you know, killing 30 men. My armor's doing fine. I don't know. Anyways, story time with Alex. That's the end of it. Oh, speaking of story time with Alex, this is actually probably going to be out. Yeah, this is going to be out, like, around the same time, hopefully. Hopefully, I don't know. It takes me forever to make these videos. Or, correction, it has taken me forever to make this. Hit him! There we go. This is going to be out by the time that the newest Death by Boredom videos have been out. I have run another channel. It's with my brother. It's called Death by Boredom. And I highly recommend you check it out if you like people like Game Grumps, because that's kind of the dynamic that we have. Only a little bit more self-deprecating. Yeah, check it out. There should be new episodes up if I get my act together and start editing them. Again, there's a reason that these videos take super long to produce. I haven't died in super long. The term obliteration is actually kind of turning more into the fact that I'm obliterating people. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. It's gone from being obliterated to obliterating. Comically enough, as far as Lovecraftian horror goes, and the King in Yellow and stuff like that, yellow used to be my favorite color. Now it's the color of my avatar's eyes. Running in that blue grind set. A bunch of hogskin. This is kind of worthless to me now, honestly. Very weird that Iron would put an item in solely for the creation of, I think it's 2 items? That should be enough. I don't know. I've almost deforested a mangrove forest as well. Or a mangrove swamp as well. Oh, so also for this. This will be a balcony side. This will be a floor side. Gonna have this cut in a little bit. And then it's gonna, like, step up, and this is gonna be another entryway, essentially, like a covered entryway. Yeah. Again, I'm freehanding it, so that it's really hard to show you guys. I don't even have a vision in my head, I'm just kind of going. Which might not be the greatest way to run this, but it'll be interesting, to say the least. Alright. Anyways, yeah, that's this. Time to get going again. Hopefully the microphone is capturing at the rate that it says it is. Back to building is the case. I did a little bit of adjustment to the mods. You might be able to see that I'm not using like sodium or Embeddium and stuff like that because I'm using Forge. But Minecraft has realistically never looked better. I wish that I had my reimagined clouds from Hello Sheep. I wish that I had my reimagined clouds from Rethinking Voxels, but I think that this is a fair enough trade. This is wild. This is very insane. And I'm just going to keep building my library. Thankfully, this is the experimental version of Bliss. I figured out how to get my hands on it, and I got it through the GitHub. And it supports Distant Horizons, and the latest version of Oculus supports Distant Horizons. And fun thing about Bliss is that it has colored lighting, which is the reason that I was using Rethinking Voxels, along with its it's like super special shadows, but Bliss seems to capture that pretty well, even with like everything but hand lighting, I'd say. Here, wait, let's look at the cave. Because the tunnel is actually... Okay, the tunnel shows maybe where Bliss falls off a little bit. But at least exteriorly, which is all that I really care about, this lighting's pretty accurate, and I like it a lot. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get back to building. Probably going to need to go to deforest some other poor native land. I could not have made a deforestation joke at a better time. Time for deforestation. Let the forest burn once again. Only this time we're actually harvesting it. Gonna be honest, when I was doing it to that jungle, I almost took nothing from the jungle. I just let it burn after a certain point. I have like a double chest full of jungle wood still though. But for this, it's just axing. I'd say that's about a suitable amount of deforestation, wouldn't you? I just came up with an idea that's going to cost me a lot of time. I actually think that I want this wall inset a little bit rather than outset a little bit. Because initially, the goal was to maybe have the top floor be like deceptively large. Where you walk up and it's like, oh, there's actually more room here than I thought there'd be. I think I might shift that because I just came up with an idea to give this some dimensionality. Where I'm going to add from this post here, it'll go up and it'll go to its arch, and then it'll go up into a pillar of log. That'll also split up this wall really nicely. I think I'm going to do that. I think this is a good start for 3-dimensionality. This is a pretty good start. This is also going to have some tall windows along the sides. These are going to be flat windows, like square ones maybe, like dead center, I think. Maybe? These are going to be more tall, like maybe 2 wide, 4 high. And I think that's a good... Yeah. I'm also thinking about making the interior needs to look less flat, but I don't have much room to work with now. I can bring the ledge out, actually. Okay. Idea. I want to make these look like shields, so we have maybe. Okay, I'm gonna go up here. What's this look like on the other side? Perfect. That doesn't look like a shield. Neither does that. That looks like a skull. Skull, sorry, misspoke. That's a shield. There we go. Now if we just take some mangrove. And then we fill the hole with red stained glass. I think that'll work. Ooh, or better yet, we can incorporate more color into this build. We can incorporate more color. We use warped stem. Yes. If we use... I accidentally activated Freecam. If we use warped stem, we could put blue, and then blue, and there's not... Warped stem isn't used in this build anywhere else. So the upstairs can be all bluey. Yeah! Okay, and we have cyan glass, and cyan glass is a much better light color coming into here. And I mean, like, I'm not biased or anything to the color blue. I don't see why you think I'd be biased to the color blue. But we could have blue up here, and it could be a nice, like, cooler area. Nicely contrasting that almost slightly warm dark oak. I think that's a good idea. I gotta go get some more stem now, though, I think. So, off to more deforestation, or maybe I have some in storage. I don't know. How is there a single hole in the wall? What? How? How did I miss that? By the 9. Okay. I'm making the arch for the ceiling. I'm gonna have... Okay. I'm gonna try to have 2 different arches. Oh man, my audio is freaking bad. 1 second. Oh no. Freaking, I hate gain. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing 2 arches. I just noticed that. I'm gonna boost the audio probably. There's a solitary hole. It's gonna make me so mad. Unless that's not a hole. I'll investigate that later. But I'm making the arch. I'm gonna have a small room here, a big room here, and the small room's gonna look like it's coming out of the big room. And the roofs are gonna kind of mimic that. But it's getting late. And I have class tomorrow. So I'm probably gonna, like, you know, postpone this. This episode has taken forever to come out. Not only am I doing this, but alongside it, I'm doing a little bit of 3D modeling. And I'm not great at 3D modeling characters, especially when they're entirely made out of triangles, because I'm trying to challenge myself. So this is... These things are... gonna take a minute. These are gonna have their, and this is gonna have its own dome. That one is gonna have an interior dome, so it doesn't have to show, but this one's gonna have a dome. And then, yeah, I think that's a decent enough arc. It's not quite at the middle. I'm gonna level it out a lot more at the middle. But yeah, this is the state of the thing. This is whenever I say state of anything, I think state of the union. What is wrong with me? Staircase, I think, looks fine. I'm not going to add railings to it because I think that would actually destroy the look. Down here has become a passive mob spawner. That's gotten really good at spawning mob. Never mind, 1 second. Okay, there we go. Perfect. This has gotten too good at becoming a mob spawner. I need to put some light there. I don't think I have any light on me, though. Yeah, I don't. Oh, that's irritating. Anyways, that's onward to the next recording session. It's been a few days. Again, finals. But I think that this actually isn't that bad of a look. Bamf. Let's look at this. There we go. I think that'll work, and then the back will just be... I'm gonna have to figure out what the back's supposed to be. But this is bringing back the idea of primarily crimson with like outline accents of mahogany, or not mahogany, mangrove. And that's why like it's that look down there, but it's too dark here. Whoop. But put here instead. It's very hard to climb. But we're gonna have the braces line up with the posts, and then we're gonna have these inset on the inside, and this is all crimson wood, which is way easier to get my hands on too. So this is partially because it's economic, but now I have to finish this so that I can finish the outside so I can finally put out this video. It's been like 2 releases since I actually started this project. I'm going to start screaming. And I think this end is done. So we have an extra thick bar here, because it has to overhang a little bit. Got these little windows. We're going to fill these with glass. And then this. And I'm not sure how I feel about the blue. Write in the comments how you feel about the blue, and I'll fix it in maybe a couple episodes. I'm not sure how I feel about the blue. But it kind of breaks up this rather than just having that or that. Because the bars are supposed to separate it. But I brought the outside in this way. Hopefully the light... There we go. If we have this truss, and so I'm going to be on the top here, on the top racks, I'm going to be doing these beams, and I think from there to like there, I'm going to have another beam as well to kind of show like, oh, it's supporting. And perhaps I'm going to have beams going down this way? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. That's interior work though, and I'm working on the exterior now because I got to produce the episode. Goodness gracious. Alright, so huge time skip. 1, I have a preamp down, so hopefully my audio sounds better. 2, I've gotten this much done, but I need to deforest yet another Crimson Forest. Oh, and I'm actually really liking how this is working here. If we pop up here, we can see that it's just kind of built into the side of the mountain, and I really like how that's working so far. It's not only helping save on materials, but it looks pretty nice in my own opinion. And I'm filling out this area, I'm trying to do the big roof, and then I'm finally going to export this video. But we have to go back to the nether, and I have to do more deforestation. I only hate it, not because it's bad for the environment, but because it's inconvenient for me. There we go. I may be unkillable. You know, a big point of this was to be like... No, my mic is too close to my face. The big point of this was to be like kind of direct about all this stuff, and gonna be honest, I have an off by 1 error that I noticed now. And now I have to fix it. It should be fast. It starts pretty early. Just irritating. Super exciting. Once I finish this tower, then the exterior will be done. Just gotta get to working on this. And I think that this is the last block for the dome. Maybe to make it more... Yeah, that makes it look a little bit more domed. And now I can finally end the episode. Thank God. Okay. We have it. The exterior of the library is done. This end of it looks kind of like a nightmare. It's fine though. I think it looks alright for what it is. The reason that it like pinches kind of weird is because I had to line it up with some of the rafters inside. Speaking of the inside, it is suitably unfinished. This is very empty, to the point where there's actually still a giant gaping hole in the wall. But the rafters are finished, which is nice. So we actually have this kind of Grand Archives looking network, and again, this is why it had to be pinched. But now we have this kind of Grand Archives looking network of wood, which is all just dark oak logs. This took a lot of trees. And then if we go over here, we have this end. And if we go up here, blammo, we have the roof, which has some lighting glitches, but that's fine. And now, I think that this is it. I think that this is everything. So now finally I can say, I need to get something out of my hand. Now finally I think I can say that this is the end of the episode. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. That everything else goes like, you know, super peachy, and that I can actually finish the inside of this. But until next time, bringing back something from the past, I'm going to say safe travels, happy hunting, and Solo Deo Gloria.